These technologies don't work for everyone. They aren't neutral. They have severe biases baked into them. They break down the moment that you start moving out of a San Francisco context. My name is Karen Hao, and I'm an AI reporter. Have been covering AI since 2018, and I came out with a book this year called Empire of AI that coalesces my work over the 7 years exploring the company OpenAI, but also the power dynamics that exist within the AI industry. And I argue that companies like OpenAI are essentially new forms of empire. Basically, everything is an AI story because AI is proliferated to every part of our lives, right? Like whether you're a healthcare reporter or an environmental reporter or a politics or geopolitics reporter, it intersects with AI at this point. But the thing that I would always say is like we need to center power as like the main lens for covering this industry. We aren't actually covering simply a technological artifact. We are covering the politics and the money and the ideologies that lead to the construction of these technologies, and then how those technologies then proliferate the ideologies and worldviews of the people that are producing them all around the world. And it is important for us to debunk the narratives that uphold the empire. One of the narratives that Silicon Valley loves to say is that this is all inevitable. There's nothing that anyone can do to prevent this technology from going exactly the way that they want it to. And that is, I think, a fundamental erosion of people's agency and ability to self-govern and to actually determine and co-create what kind of future they want to live in. And it's also not true. Like, none of this is inevitable. I always say that, like, every empire is made to feel inevitable. That's part of how they perpetuate themselves. And yet, historically, every empire has fallen. And so we need to, as investigative journalists, imbue people with that possibility that if we all actually contribute our voice, our talent, our energy, our creativity to different futures than just an imperial future, we will actually have a much better chance of getting there. Another huge narrative that upholds Silicon Valley and this empire is this idea that their technologies are neutral. AI is absolutely not neutral. And when you think that it is neutral and that it's somehow highly capable, and if you believe that the story where Silicon Valley says, we're creating these software systems that can do anything for anyone, these everything machines, so to speak, then it allows them to also continue justifying why they're engaging in this land grab and this data grab and this resource grab and this capital grab. And ultimately, like, these technologies don't work for everyone. They aren't neutral. They have severe biases baked into them. They break down the moment that you start moving out of a San Francisco context. They break down when you start moving into cultures that are not American, when you're moving into languages that are not English. And so journalists around the world should be documenting those breakdowns to show the real world evidence of what actually happens, what actually are the capabilities and the limitations of these technologies. The last one is this narrative that AI is somehow from the ethereal cloud, that it is this pristine technology that arrives from the heavens and is not, in fact, based on extraordinary physical extraction. And we need to be investigating the rare earth minerals that are being mined to produce the computer chips, the degree to which the data centers are run on dirty fuels that are pumping extraordinary amounts of toxic pollutants into communities as well as emissions into the atmosphere. And so as we make the physicality and the materiality of AI more apparent as well, I think that also begins to undermine the imperial ambition of trying to gobble up everything in the world.